What's up, guys? My name's Britt, better known as Default Dan. And today we're going to be looking at the Rescue Rangers event that just dropped. So Glue just gave us a whole new event, brand new characters that were kind of out of the blue. If you guys are Rescue Ranger fans, then you're going to love it. So we've had Monterey Jack for a little while, but now we get to have Dale, Chip, and Gadget. This team looks pretty cool. I like the synergies around them, and we're going to see them in the event. But first, if you like what I do, definitely hit the like button down below, hit subscribe. And if you want to see any of this live, hit me up over at Twitch, twitch.com/defaultdan. All the links are going to be in the description below. Let's get into the event. All right, guys, so we're going to be doing the Rescue Rangers event. Already done the first two. So we've already done Chip, we've already done Dale. We did this a little while back when the event started. But today we get to see Gadget. So we're going to be going through doing Gadget's portion of the event. And it's going to be fun. So we've got Chip and Dale, Monterey Jack. We've already got the guys pretty much maxed out at this point. So we'll be able to go through this whole event and see how many Gadget tokens we can pick up. So what I want to do is I want to kind of go through the team, show them off, talk about how they work together. I believe one of the things we're going to see is Gadget's going to be very needed for this team to make this team very, very viable in Club Conquest, raids, and other areas. And we're gonna see that as we go. So I'm going to be making sure to use those three. And then for our other teams, I'm going to be kind of working with some other characters that aren't used as much. I want to make sure that we're showing off the Rescue Rangers and not necessarily throwing in Elsa or Hercules or somebody like that that's just going to kill everybody pretty quickly. So I'm going to go with some characters like Calhoun, who's going to do some assisting with the downtown heroes, but really doesn't do a whole lot of damage so that we can really focus on the team. And for the other character, we will throw in let's throw in Barley, another downtown character. We're going to be able to throw on some helpful effects, which are really going to be helpful with the different characters and how they synergize. So if we look at guys like Chip, who can make sure that each helpful effect on Chip is going to give him some extra damage on his basic, but also going to give us a chance to copy them throughout the team. So we're going to mess with this and see how far we can get into the event. As far as skills go, we're going to throw on infinity-sided dice. Again, really this whole team wants a whole lot of helpful effects, so that's what we're going to focus on there. And then as far as our other spell, might as well just throw in Cauldron just to see if we can get some synergies with refreshing skills. I don't expect these first few levels to be that difficult just because our characters are pretty well geared up, skilled up, and all of that. But definitely as we get further into the event, we should be able to see that synergy a little. All right, so this is the first time really seeing this half of the event. But we got a couple cool spells here. As far as Dale goes, what Dale really wants to do, he wants to use spells like this where he's putting all the harmful effects on top of himself. And then once he has all those harmful effects, you want to use this spell, the Causing Chaos. He's going to be doing a lot of damage per harmful effect that's on him. So essentially each harmful effect, he's going to redo this attack, and he's going to be moving those harmful effects off. But since we don't have any right now, we're just going to do our basic attack. Like I mentioned, these guys are geared up and skilled up, so I don't really expect there not to be a whole lot of one-shots. As far as Dale, the way you want to use Dale is he's either got the game is afoot so he can take helpful effects, or we can use Rescue Rangers away, again, copying those effects, or a chance to copy those effects. So we're going to go ahead and do that and get that assist off our characters. And you can see that now we're getting all these helpful effects all the way across the team, which is really, really we've got this guy coming up. So we're going to go ahead and use Monterey Jack, his shoulder tackle. So this is going to be a pretty big attack here with stun. And again, not really getting any of these extra damage stuff here, so let's just do our basic. And this is where I really want Barley, because I can give the book over to Dale. And then this time, when Dale wants to put his abilities over, again, you want to time these correctly, but you'll be able to kind of make copies of all these as well. So because we don't have that skill up yet, we can do our basic. We're going to be doing 10% damage per helpful effect on him. So again, with crit and all of that, there's going to be a lot of damage that Dale's doing. So 16k right there. You can see some pretty big damage here. And really for Calhoun, I would just bring her in, and we'll see her a little bit later for those assists. Or I can put out the beacon if I just want to get another taunt. But since Monterey Jack's going to keep his taunt the whole time, it's not as neat. Right, so we got our Gadget tokens going. Going to work on the next level. So again, it's probably not going to get hard till we get down towards the 7-star, the gear tier 6 levels. So these may go pretty quickly. But I kind of want to talk through a little bit of the kits as I'm going, just showing them off. So if you didn't notice, Monterey Jack is similar to a Baymax in the fact that he can get that taunt from the start of the match. And the way he works, he's just going to keep this taunt the entire time. As long as his health stays up, that taunt's not going to go away. And you're going to be able to continue to do this, because every turn, he's going to redo that taunt. I guess. Go ahead and Honey Lemon. And we'll just go ahead and out Hero. So we'll kind of wait till we get a little bit further on. But that's the thing I like about Monterey Jack. He can keep that taunt up. He's got a whole lot of health when you start to get him geared up. And so we're going to go ahead and refresh. We're going to hit a couple of these refreshes. We can get further into the event and get all the way to the end of it. So there we're getting the assist from Calhoun, which is really what I wanted to do with their synergies. And we'll go ahead and just attack here. We are seeing we're starting to not do as much damage, just because their damage isn't very, very high. Got that taunt up. Got another turn, but Hero's already stunned, so we'll go ahead and take down Honey Lemon. Work on boosting Chip up a little bit. And put some harmful effects out there. So Monterey Jack can also heal, which is also great. And then he's going to heal an additional amount per adventurer teammate. So we have Barley, who's an adventurer, so he's a very good teammate for this team. And so right now we're looking at 4 adventurers, and realistically, when we get to the point of having Gadget's going to go here in this 5th spot instead of Calhoun. That way we have full synergies going on, Rescue Ranger synergy plus Adventurer synergy. But I think Barley's just a really good add when we look at this team, if you don't already have them in a different team. But I really like their kits. I really like that they have a lot of synergy. They want to do a lot of things very similarly. Yeah, they do have kind of their differences. There's not really an offensive unit, which definitely makes this team a little more unique. I think they're all labeled as support. You don't really have a giant damage dealer out there. So I'm going to let Go-Go actually go. That way she can throw some of the defenses downs so that we can show Dale's part of his kit off. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and stun our Thanatos Mecha Armor back there. And that's not what I was expecting her to do, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and start to get Dale up there so he can do some extra damage. We'll go ahead and look at taking down Honey Lemon, 16k, bad. The other thing you can do here is with Monterey Jack, even as basic, actually does some pretty good damage. So doing some extra damage, 100% bonus damage based on the character's missing health. This is where the tank really comes into play. And then you get kind of these other things of guaranteed to crit if his health is higher, and then heal if it's lower. So a lot of cool things going on with Monterey Jack there. Guess at this point, we're just going to go ahead and do our basic attacks here. 11,000 crit, too bad. I mean, the team does a good chunk of damage when you get them going with the right spells and with the right synergy. All right, not too bad at this point. Working our way towards Gadget. And do another refresh. Got 3 more here to go, so we'll have to do 1 more refresh for that last level. But now we're getting into the 7-star requirement, so it's going to get a little tougher. We're not going to do as much damage. And Calhoun's probably our weakest character in the group. But again, I don't want to show off Elsa, I don't want to show off Hercules, I want to show off a team, and I want to really put the Rescue Rangers in the forefront. So I feel like this is probably the best way of Alright, so I'm going to wait on this skill like we did before. So instead, we're going to work on actually stealing these helpful effects. So we're going to copy those helpful effects over. Go ahead and put this over on Yep. That way we can potentially share it around. And then we have the evasions up, so we don't necessarily want to waste our crit. Go down the cauldron. Thing here. Gonna have to get rid of these evasions here, which Calhoun is pretty good at doing. Multiple attacks there. All right, so now we can use Dale to clear all these defense downs. Be great. Guess we'll just go ahead, go after Honey Lemon. Cauldron. So we're going to use the distractor again. Going to transfer some harmful effects, put fear on the enemy. That's the one thing I think is not actually potentially working correctly. As you can see, the defense downs went to him and then they disappeared. I'm not sure if that's really the intention of that, since his next spell really wants to have a bunch of harmful effects do his thing. So we want to see Dale in action. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't really want to kill them because I want Dale to go. But now we're going to work on using the causing chaos. Again, see how many times we can do this. So we're going to be transferring the 3 harmful effects. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like Dash's move. The only thing is you have to make sure you have harmful effects on Dale to really take advantage of them. But it is good to see. So that's one of the things that when you look at this, Dale can really get a lot of cleansing ability with your team, but then also be able to utilize that to give you kind of the dash AoE attacks. Chip, you can kind of just keep powering him up and then get a huge basic attack. So a lot of synergies there. And again, with the taunt, just really being able to leverage the fact that everybody's going to have to come after him. And really healing at this point. We use Dale when it comes around to his turn. So we could go ahead and do some damage. It would do a lot of damage around. So let's actually do that instead of cleansing. Actually, you know what? Let's cleanse. Potentially better just to use the other move just to get the damage out there, but Monterey Jack does not have his taunt anymore, so we'll put the taunt out there. And we'll go after Go-Go. We'll do our dash attack. Go ahead and take that. So you can see where that potential comes from. And the thing is, once you get Gadget in place, and we'll look at her kit in just a second and talk to it, but once you get Gadget in place, you can definitely do some pretty big damage. The question would be, are they going to change the meta, PvP, things like that? I don't think so. I think the problem with the team when it comes to PvP is you really do need the full team. So I don't think they're going to really do a whole lot in that sense. But I do think that they're going to be a really interesting raid team, a club conquest team. They're going to get underestimated a lot when it comes to that. And so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when people don't really understand the synergies around them and who to attack first and all of that good stuff. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of these evasions. Not exactly what I want to do, but it's not terrible. And I'm going to go ahead and put this over on Dale with the assumption that bad assumption, but I was hoping that he would get some of the defense down, but of course, hard to guess that when it comes to the AI. Go ahead, defense down right there on go. Got the crit. And right now I have a Hellstone on Monterey Jack. Considering the fact this basic always does crits, if he has higher health than the target, it may actually make sense to put more of the crit power stone on him or something like that. But I think that's just going to come down to preference and testing to figure out if that really is the best one or not. We should be able to take out Honey Lemon in a second, so I'm not worried too much there. I really like the assist on that spell so that it's not just a dead spell not doing too much. I like the fact that it still does something. You can see at this point Monterey Jack's already healing himself, keeping himself in the game. There it is. We're going to auto this one more time, finish up last level. We got the Rescue Rangers trophy. Not too bad. Getting our essences. Grab another token. Then we'll check out Gadget. All right, so Gadget is the one that I think is going to take this team kind of to that next level of being playable. So if you guys haven't checked out, her kit has a lot of stuff in it. A lot of math, a lot of charges and things like that, which really goes back to what this character is all about. So I really like the flavor that they actually put into each one of these characters. And so if you're looking at her basic, she's going to do some damage, target opponent 2 times. If they have no helpful effects, you're going to gain 1 charge. So we're going to see in just a minute what those charges are really going to do. But you have this additional chance to transfer one of those helpful effects from the target to Gadget. So their kit's all about kind of stealing, copying the helpful effects on the other side, manipulating harmful effects on their side, and really taking advantage of that we saw with Chip and Dale. We also have some other percentages here, more damage, a higher percentage to actually do that transfer, and again, making it guaranteed once you get it to level 4. Her second ability. So her second ability, high IQ. This is definitely one of those that's going to take a lot of IQ to really figure out exactly everything it does. So there's a whole thing about if Gadget has helpful effects, he has harmful effects, if the target has helpful or harmful. Those different items are going to make her gain charges. So if you have 1 on each side, you're going to gain 2 charges. Just how it works. But in pretty much every case, based on that, you should be getting the 2 charges. For each charge, you're going to remove 30% speed meter from the target opponent. So if you thought Bubbles was crazy, at this point she's getting 2. So that's removing 60% speed meter from opponent. And if she has 5 charges, then she's going to get unstoppable to each teammate for 1 turn. Pretty big in the game. The thing is, we'll look at her potency in a minute, and her potency pretty much means this thing's going to land and it's going to be able to work. So this may be one of those kind of new bubbles for raid, but we'll have to see. And again, a lot of this comes down to the whole team kind of being together and working together. So if the team has at least 7 helpful effects, you're going to flip 1 helpful effect on each opponent. So you're going to be removing those helpful effects on the opponent. The opponent's team has at least 7 harmful effects. You're going to flip 1 of those harmful effects on each of the teammates. You're going to be able to kind of, again, manipulate harmful and helpful effects. If your team has no harmful effects, so if you've used things like Dale to kind of clear a whole bunch of them, or potentially maybe you run Baymax or you run Merlin, there's a couple other characters that can cleanse a whole bunch. But if you do that, she's going to gain a ton of charges. So you can gain 5 charge. They have no helpful effects, you can gain 5 charge. So Days World and PvP, this is what I'm talking about. In PvP, that's usually not going to happen. There's a bunch of helpful effects, but inside of raids, there's a lot of chances, a lot of times where the bosses don't have any helpful effects. So you'll be able to do that. If she has 10 charge, or at least 10 charge, all teammates are getting 30% speed meter. 15 charges, they're also going to gain 1 guaranteed crit. 20 charges, each rescue ranger teammate is going to gain invulnerable for 2 turns. So this can be pretty huge, especially like I was saying in raid. You're going to be able to get those 20 charges with all these different things. Kind of the harmful effect again may be a little bit harder in raid because we have poison, continuous damage, and things like that. But if you're running guys like Merlin in the team, you should be pretty good, or Baymax to be able to clear those out. So again, over here, you've got the -1 harmful effect, -1 effect, being able to kind of help out in that sense. The next one, her special. So this is going to be kind of her damage dealer. So for every 2 charge on Gadget, deal up to 22 damage. And again, this is basic level 1, gear 1. So once she goes up, you're going to see these damage numbers go way up. Then deal 50 damage to target opponent, deal 5% bonus damage per charge on Gadget and those charges. So this is where you could just stack up those charges to make sure that you're getting the 10, the 20 bonuses every turn, or you can go ahead and spend them here, do a whole bunch of damage, because this is really going to stack up when you have 10 charges. So if you have 10 charges, it's 50% extra damage on top of all these other things. You'll get this first one for 5 times, then you'll get 50% damage with that big. Got some other damages here that are going to add up. So really, again, like I said, there's not really a huge damage dealer on this team, but I think Gadget is that damage dealer. She's just going to need that synergy in all the different teammates. And our last one, the passive on turn start, 50% chance to gain 1 charge. Then if Gadget has more than 10 charges, it consume your charge. Over 10 for each charge consumed, grant 10% speed meter to a random rescue ranger. Each time a rescue ranger teammate gains a harmful effect, 20% chance for Gadget to gain charge. So she's going to work directly with Dale when he's stealing those harmful effects from the rest of the team. So it's going to be really helpful to do that with her getting her charges pretty quickly. And then again, we're going to get some guaranteed to gain the charge on turn. And I believe this is lastly, reverse polarity. This is where she's going to resist harmful effects, 50% chance to reflect them back on opponent. So this is where, again, you can guarantee to reflect once you get it all the way up. You can give her more tenacity per charge on her. So it's going to be very hard, just like Beast today, it's going to be very hard to actually hit her with harmful effects. But when you do, or she resists it from the tenacity and stuff, she's going to reflect that back on opponent. It's going to be pretty big, especially when you have characters like Ursula that's going to do the mass blind, or any kind of character that's not specifically targeting. If she gets hit, it's going to flip that over to the side. So this team, I believe, is going to be pretty good when it comes to Club Conquest, when it comes to raids. There's going to be a niche group of people that use the Rescue Rangers. They're not changing PvP. It's not like Hercules that just came out. It's not like Beast, Mickey, all the legendaries that are finding themselves inside of PvP. But there's a chance that this team could surprise us, especially figuring out who that 5th person is of the team. whether you use somebody like Barley to get Adventurer, Merlin to get more cleansing Baymax, to get another Taunter plus cleansing health. So there's a couple different ways you can go about that. But really looking forward to the team. Really want to see what they're going to do inside the game. Want to see after the leaderboards, everything shuts down, if I'll be able to actually get the 7-star gadget. And if I do, we'll definitely have a follow-up video with a full team. But I appreciate you guys checking it out.